Hi, it's Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton, and we are back. We are got the forms all made for our garden wall, our stone garden wall. This is called slip form construction. As you can see, we've got them placed here. Now all we have to do is level them. We're going to level them vertically, we're going to level them horizontally, and we're going to square everything up, you know, with the house. And so that's probably going to take us probably about a half an hour to an hour, I'm hoping, to get that done. We've had a lot of rain. Today's the first nice day we've had in 3 days. And it's absolutely beautiful out here today. We've got about a 78 to 80 degree day. So this is the perfect day to lay stone or to get out here and do some yard work. You can see here we have the pond. We went and bought it while it was raining. We went and got all of our materials. So John here's got the level. We're getting ready to level all of this. We have to bring the pond up, and we've got to get it level from the bottom as well. And when you do that, you're just going to want to use a 2x4, and you're going to want to lay the level this direction down inside of here, and then you're going to want to take another 2x4 over the level, and you're going to want to sit it like this. So you just want to sit it like this, across here like this, and then like this right here. Okay? And then you're going to get your level line. And we need to decide just how tall we want to make this pond. So the bottom of this lip is going to meet the bottom of this after we get all this squared up. So remember, square up your wall first and then the pond. Now this pond is going to have plumbing, it's going to have a drain in it just like a garden tub. So we'll be able to pull that plug and we'll be able to drain that out, and we'll be able to drain that down the slope of the yard that direction. So come on, I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. And you're going to come along for the ride with this. Stay with us. Hit the subscribe button because we'd love to have you come along with this project. We've got so much going on. We've got Maranatha Minutes. We're on chapter 37. We're just really having a good time over on that page. And I've combined all my pages so now you can find everything on one YouTube channel. Now this is my English gardens. It's going to be really pretty. So come along for the ride. We'd love to have you. And hit that subscribe button. Come on. Okay, again, we're just going to take our string lines, we're going to level these forms, and remember, this may look narrow now, but the stone actually goes to the inside of the form. So that's 3 feet 3 inches in width, and you can make that adjustment, whatever's comfortable for you. Most sidewalks are 3 feet in width. And then over here, we've got a little over the 3 feet. By the time, I think we almost had almost 4 feet by the time we had the inside here. So all this has got to be squared up. We're going to reset our string lines because we've probably knocked them around. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to have the drain in our, we're going to take the pond liner here. This is what they call a hardy pond liner. And we're just going to put like a drain in here like a bathtub. We're going to drain it down and out of the slope and on out that direction with the slope of the ground. Now we'll have other drains in the wall as well, and that will keep the water and keep all of our plants and everything underneath here drained. Remember, we don't want any water settling on top of this storm shelter here. We want everything to flow off of here. Okay, here we've just cut a few of the boards out of the deck here. And we've used our Sawzall to do that. That's the best tool for this. Now I want to show you this down this side right here. Now this right here is the inside form of where the stone wall will actually be. So you're going to see there's going to be a gap here. But you've got to leave yourself enough room to clear your deck or any of this lattice or anything, especially if we have to knock this around just a little bit and get our fingers in here. And then you want to be sure and clear your deck by at least a good ½ inch all the way around. Okay? Now I know that, like I said, that's going to leave a gap, but I can always come back in here and fill that in with some of my top bricks that go across the top of the wall. And of course we're going to come back through here and I'm going to fill in this section here. And when I do, I can fill this in a little bit. But you do want this to come in up to the deck as far as possible if this is the situation that you're in. Okay, so when you get your stones delivered, your cobblestones, you're going to want to pick out some of the larger stones for the first row or two. Okay, so I've got all my stones set out, and I went to Big Lots, and for $3 I bought a couple of packages of seashells in different sizes. And some of these sea glass stones here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just like I did here on the house. Let's show this to you. Here's on the on the room addition, and I'm going to add some seashells here, just like I did right here. See that all the way up? Here's one above the door here. So you get a load of that. Isn't that cool? All the way around. Above the door over here as well. There's a nice big one up here. Big conch shell. Like right here's inside the door casing, we've got them. So I mean, you know, they just go all the way around. Isn't that nice? So I want to give that same feeling here to this wall. So just a pile of shells. I didn't put any sea glass on the house itself, but I'm going to here for this wall. Pretty nice shells in here. They're not real big, but I'm gonna incorporate them here in the wall here and there if I can. Slip forming is a little different than when we stone the wall here. Okay, so what we've done here is to test what we want to do with our pond. You know, the amount of water flow with our pump. Is we've bought this coupling here, which goes on the pump itself, and we bought this splitter. Now this splitter, you can get this in the garden department at most hardware stores. We think we picked this up at Menards. This was $14, about $8 for the splitter here, just like you get for a typical house hose splitter. And you want to test your hose. So we've got the hose turned on. And remember, the pressure from the hose will be a little different than the pressure from the pump. And what you want to do is we're going to adjust it. We got one that has the adjustable knobs on it here. This is just your typical drip irrigation type hose, okay? Now I'm just going to turn this on, and this is going to tell us what size of stream we've got coming out of here. That's on low. So you hear that sound? We've got a frog and a cherub and two swans, or two cranes, excuse me, two blue crane herrings that we're putting on the pond. So, you hear that? That's full blast. Let's see if we can see this from the side. That's full blast. And you can adjust this right here at the thumb piece right here. Here I can turn it down a little bit right here. And I can get a trickle. Or again, I can get full power. Depends on what kind of sound you want. See? I can adjust that right here. Right here on this little piece right here, I can adjust that. So I find that this size of hose works perfect for a small decorative item like a little frog or what we're using it for. And we've got 4 items that will be spraying this at different locations into the pond. Plus we're going to have a center spray piece just like this. That's going to be like a fountain in the pond. Plus we're going to be moving the water with the large waterfalls as well, which will be coming down like an escalating waterfalls. So we have what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 water features in that little 7 by 8 pond. 7 by, what, about 6 by 8 pond, I think that is. So, and that's plenty to move plenty of air and a lot of circulation in there for your fish. You want a lot of air circulation. So again, we're just going to test the sound. I think that'll block any barking dogs or children playing in the background that we want to block. Sounds really good, especially if you get a couple of them going. Okay, so we're going to take this back off the hose, and we're going to go ahead and plumb up our water features, and we'll be right back. So there's an attachment to there's another attachment here.
The hose is 1/2 inch.
Okay.
So you're going to cut the holes in a couple places.
Okay. So I got my bucket of shells here waiting. I'm just going to sit them aside. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to start in your corners with the most squarest rock that you can find. Go ahead, put more in there.
I'm just going to put it where your foot was.
No, I need more in the corner right there. So I get that filled anyway. Just let it kind of soak on out. Okay, here. So setting the first stone is always the hardest. It's always the start to a job there, isn't it? Okay, so I want this to show. I like where this is right here. Okay, John's just putting in the mortar mix here, and I'm setting stones. And you just want to make sure and keep these covered with mortar mix. Keep this smoothed out all the way to the sides. You want to keep this pretty loose. Okay, you just keep laying. But this is definitely a way to do it that will harden up and you'll have a nice straight stone wall. So if you're going to do it on a wall like this, I definitely don't suggest slip stoning it. Definitely stack stoning it. And then doing a wall like this, I do suggest doing it this way. We got John picked up the S mortar Quickcrete, the stuff that I don't like, and it's drying up really fast here. So right now I'm just throwing rocks in any which way. I've not really been able to be too particular since it's setting up so quickly. All right, and we'll be right back. Okay, we've reached the top of the form. Now, if this was high as you was going, you'd want to make sure that all of your stones were pretty level up here at the top. Then you want to skim this with a top coat of mortar mix so you can lay your capstones or your bricks across the top nice and level. Plus, when you undo this form and raise it, having enough mortar up in here helps keep these stones in place so nothing rolls out of place. You want to be sure. You know, if there's a little bit of the top show, just like this, that's fine. But like right here, I need to definitely add some more mortar mix. So John's going to mix another box of mortar for me, and then we're going to pack these in just a little bit more like we've done up here. See how it's not quite level to the top yet? And that's fine if you're going to go another row up. But you still want to pack it a little bit so that way none of the stones fall out. Because as you can see here, that stone right there, that just needs some more packing around it. So another half bag to 3/4 of a bag of mortar mix, and we'll have this wall right here done. This took about 12 to 13 bags to go 2 by 12. 2 feet high, 12 feet long, so 13 bags is about where we're going to be then. Okay, so when we get this, this needs to set up just until you can brush this off. Unless you're doing a wall, and like I said, you want to let it set, probably cure for a couple of days, but we want to be able to brush this so we can get a little bit of that bobble look there. Now usually slipstone will just be a flat stone look, but like I said, we're using the cobbles. This was a little bit more difficult. We got to time this just right. So now here you want to stand on this end of the wheelbarrow, the slope side to this side. Normally you'd put the water in here, the dry mix on that side, but John's been mixing for me long enough that he's got it down pat. He keeps feeding my mortar, don't you, dear? And somebody's having fun. Who's having fun in their pool? We've got a little top over here for shade for her. It's not as hot as it was, Lexi. You want to get it? Get the fish. Get the fish. Get your fish. Where are you going? Hey, pretty girl. Hi, Blue Eyes. Hey, Blue Eyes. What you looking at? Some got our attention. Nobody wants to see that end of your butt. Lexi's in training. I don't know if you can see all the white flags out here. She's in training with her collar, so we couldn't put her in an electric collar while she played in her pool. She's trying to get the fishies. Are you trying to get the fishies? Hello. We're going to talk about consistency here. If you're using a trowel, you want it a little thicker than this. You want it to be able to hold onto the trowel without falling off. What we're doing, we want it a little looser. Like a thick cake mix. Or like I don't know, just like pouring concrete, I guess. The thickness of poured concrete. That's what we prefer. especially if you're doing a flat or stone wall. I'm just going to kind of come in here, and we're just going to kind of, where it feels like some of these stones might be loose. I need a smaller trowel. That's alright, I got this right here. Okay, so now we're just taking the forms off. And here's hoping. Okay, and this right here is what the stone looks like on a regular slip form wall. But now remember, these are cobbles. These aren't really square. So they were rounded stones. So what we got to do now is we have to go in here and we've got to take these wire brush here and this soft bristle brush, and we're going to have to go through here without knocking any stones out. And we're going to have to wire brush it. We'll let that finish drying a little bit with the side off. And then we got some extra, we have some extra mortar mix here, so we can pack it where we need to. We can pack it. It's a unique look, just like this. If you wanted, I'm gonna stand aside here so you can get a comparison. There's this way right here of dry stacking stone, where the more the cobble shows, and then this is more of a slip form. And of course, the mortar's wet. You can see when the mortar is dry, of course, it's a lot lighter colored. We're going to have to do a lot of wire brushing, so better get busy. Okay, so John's just got the wire brush here, and we're just going to gently, very gently, going a little bit too hard, just very gently, we're going to kind of carve each stone in and kind of carve around it, being gentle not to let any stone fall out of this wall. We have some extra mortar mixed up over here if that happens. And we'll be back when we're done wire brushing this. Remember, you want to be very gentle, and then you want to take the soft bristle brush over it last. But you don't want to knock any big chunks out of there. And this is what it looks like after you wire brush it and soft bristle brush it. Isn't that sexy? Now, of course, the mortar here is going to dry, just like it did on the house here, this light gray color. But now that's slip form construction, using the slip forms versus the stacked way of doing construction. A little bit more bubbly here, but all in all, and I'm telling you, we had to work this fast, didn't we, John?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we had to work it fast. This is, I'm exhausted, but looky, I'm gonna show you here all the seashells that I put in here. Look at that. It worked. It absolutely worked. Now I'm going to go through here and kind of get some of this brush marks off. First you use the wire brush and get it all out, and then you take just a soft brush like you would use like in a shop. And then here's how we finished out the edge, stone edge. Remember, you're only doing two wide, so I wanted to kind of give it a braided look, and that's kind of what I got there. And one of my seashells fell out here, so I had to pop it back in. And then I have some sea glass here that actually we were able to find and was exposed. That was cool. Some more seashells. There's another one I stuck down in there. So here I'm going to have John demonstrate here. What it is he's going through and he's knocking off the first. I'll show him the first amount here. See, lean back just a little bit. I want to show him what it looked like. See that right there? The stones are barely exposed, and then he's kind of going around the seashells and stuff now.
Back part of your thing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of grind it in there. Now while John's doing the first brushing and getting the main majority of it off here, I'm going through and I'm doing the detailed work and the brushing to get the deep bobble look on it. And I'm kind of going around all the seashells and stuff. And then again, I just go back through and I just use the wire brush and kind of get it all off of here, sweep it all off, and this right here should be our end result. It should just look just like the room addition here that we did. And again, when you do this, only go up 2 feet high at a time. There's just no way that even 2 people. This almost set up on us, didn't it, John?
Yeah.
So I mean, we worked it as fast as we could.
Instead of pulling it up was important too.
Yeah, we went ahead and took it apart instead of pulling it. Instead of lifting it upwards, we actually pulled it apart and took the screws
And you
out.
only have, if you build your own form, just put 3 screws on either end.
Yeah.
And then you can take it apart easy.
Yeah, so 3 screws on either end and then take it apart. That did work a lot easier just by taking it apart. And now we still have our form to 6 screws, and we're 3 screws on each end there, and we were able to put it back together to do to make it taller. So this is our debate. We're exhausted. It's been an all-day thing. I'm roasted. John mixed me 13 or 14 bags of mortar mix today to do this. And this is what, 12 by 2 feet high by 12 feet long. Again, you can't dry stack cobbles. They're round, so they wouldn't stay. And these are just some leftover cobbles that I had, and some leftover bricks from inside the greenhouse, and I just made a ledge. People asked me if I ever made a step. Yes, we did. We poured that step.
You had a wall to lay it against.
Yeah. All right, my break's over. Time to get back at it. This stuff right here flies everywhere. Want to soft bristle brush this right here and get rid of all these marks that your wire brush made. This is a nice powdered finish.